Nathan Chambers, and the question I've chosen to look at for my coursework is a right to privacy in Facebook. I will be asking whether it's a contradiction in terms. This short presentation will just give an overview into my upcoming assignments for the M Commercial module. So I'll just be looking at the major themes I expect to be exploring in my overall presentation. Facebook is always watching. Okay, why did I choose this question? Well, the aspect of privacy as to what is and to what is not interests me a great deal, especially in terms of online information. Personally, I submit lots of information over the internet. So I just wanted to find out at what price we're going to be paying to submit this information to our favourite websites and favourite social networking sites. Facebook has become so much more than a tool of enjoyment. It's become literally huge. It's a way of life for some people. So inevitably it's going to overlap with the aspect of privacy. So we'll be touching on Facebook and how big it's got. Okay, the major themes I expect to be exploring, we'll be looking at the right to privacy, we'll be looking at what is privacy, and do we actually have a right to privacy. So we'll be looking at Article 8, Convention of European Rights. And we'll be looking at if privacy can actually be enforced under statute. So we'll be looking at cases such as Wainwright and the Home Office 2003, as well as other cases as well. So in this section we'll just be briefly touching on Facebook. So we'll be looking at the creation of it and some facts and figures. The information I got from this, it was gathered from kissometrics.com. And then we'll be looking at the impact on Facebook that it has on the world. Like I said before, Facebook has become literally huge. So I'll be reviewing and commenting on a report called The Facebook Effect, How Social Networking Changed the World. And this report was written by a lady named Stacey Curtin on the 18th of May 2012, and she's a columnist for the Yahoo Finance website. So you can find that report on that website. In the main body of my assignment, I'll be looking at the issues between privacy and Facebook and how they come into effect with each other directly. So I'll be looking at articles of real events where privacy was considered to be breached on Facebook. And then I'll also be looking at how they resolved. So, for example, the most recent case I can think of was a case of private messages reappearing on people's timelines and their friends' timelines. And these were private messages sent from 2009. So old messages kept reappearing. Also another one, at a security demonstration in Australia, there was an expert called Christian Heinrich, and what he did was he actually accessed another person's Facebook account, and he took pictures from that account when the privacy settings were on its highest. So we'll be looking at that, and we'll be looking at the sort of backlash of these effects. Then we'll be looking at the statutes that were in breach, if there was any, and if there was, how were they addressed? So how were the issues dealt with? And then we're looking at what should be done to combat issues between privacy and Facebook. So we'll be looking at if we need new laws, any reforms that need to be made. There's a reform called Protecting Privacy, Information and Privacy, this is online, this is as privacy as a whole, not just online, but it has quite a substantial online section. This report was written by Charles Rabb and Benjamin Gould, and you can find this report online. Once again, it's just called Looking at Protecting Information Privacy. And then to conclude the assignment, I'll be looking at if you can actually use Facebook to its full extent without submitting your right to privacy. So again, I'll review all the cases that I've done and give a yes or no answer. And then I'll formulate my own personal opinion and based on the information that I've looked at during the assignment. So we'll be looking at, is Facebook actually a contradiction to privacy? And just to summarise, we'll be referring back to privacy reports with an overall summary as how we can move forward. So we'll be looking at reforms again, going back to reports from that people have written about privacy and Facebook, and if so, what can be done to help introduce new laws to make it safer using the internet and safer using social networking sites. Okay, that's the end of the presentation, and I'd like to thank you very much for listening. Thank you.